times stronger enamel defense and 24-hour cavity protection.
What if I told you that I met a person online who became my best friend without even knowing what they look like? But the day we decided to finally meet up with each other in real life, they wanted to meet at a cemetery. Even though I thought it was kind of weird, I agreed to meet them there. But when I actually arrived at this place, I realized this person was lying about their true identity the whole time. Let me set the scene for you. It's the year 2020 and I'm in the loneliest phase of my life. I was in online school because of the pandemic, so my days literally just consisted of logging online for school and then doing nothing for the rest of my day. My parents would always ask why I wasn't hanging out with friends anymore, and I would always just make an excuse saying that they were busy or something. But in reality, since I wasn't going to school in person anymore, I lost most of my friends. And since I had so much free time where I wasn't doing anything, I really got into video games. And that's when I discovered this horror game called Dead by Daylight. And this is where the story really begins. Because if you've never played this game before, basically how it works is one person plays as the killer and the other four are trying to survive and escape. It's terrifying and addictive at the same time. So I'm just playing this game one night and I get matched with this person that was super funny. There's no voice chat, so I couldn't actually hear them speak, but just the way they were playing was comedy. We ended up winning the round super quickly and they sent me a friend request after so we could keep playing together. Their username was Banned from Walmart. Never asked what that meant, by the way. But anyways, we started playing together every single day. And after a couple weeks, he asked if I wanted to start talking to him over Discord while we were playing. I said yeah, and just like that, a new friendship was made. The first time we spoke over Discord, I was nervous because where I wasn't doing anything, I really got into video games. And that's when I discovered this horror game. So much free time where super quickly, and they sent me a friend request after so we could keep playing together. Their username was Banned from Walmart. Never asked what that meant, by the way. But anyways, we started playing together every single day. And after a couple weeks, he asked if I wanted to start talking to him over Discord while we were playing. I said yeah, and just like that, a new friendship was made. The first time we spoke over Discord, I was nervous because I had no idea what he was gonna sound like. I joined his voice chat, and sure enough, he sounded around my age. Although, there was always just something a little bit different sounding about his voice, and you'll understand why later. But either way, we got along really well. At first, it was just the game we'd talk about, but eventually, we started talking about everything. School drama, family problems, our dreams, stuff that you usually only share with your best friends. And this pretty much became our daily routine. I'd finish my online school, immediately hop online, and then we would just play video games for hours. Sometimes we'd even just sit in voice chat talking with each other without playing a game. Banned from Walmart became the person I looked forward to talking to every single day. Matter of fact, they were pretty much the only person outside of my family that I was talking to at all. And I know what everyone's thinking hearing this. Tyler, you need to touch grass, buddy. You're totally right. I did need to. But guess what? I never did. And guess what else? I still don't. The craziest thing about our friendship was that they knew me better than almost anyone else in my life, even though I never met them before. Matter of fact, I didn't even know what they looked like. And trust me, that would come back to bite me later. So we've been gaming together for probably 6 or 7 months at this point when I realized I knew everything about this person except for one detail. I knew their favorite foods, I knew their biggest fears, I knew their family drama, I even knew their class schedule. But the one thing I didn't know is where they lived. So one night, we're just chilling in a voice chat and I go, "Hey, Banned from Walmart, where do you actually live?" They pause for a second and then go, "Oh, I live in Los Angeles." When they said that, I literally dropped my controller. I'm sitting there staring at my screen going, "Wait, what did you just say?" "Los Angeles. Why?" "Dude, I live in Los Angeles too. What part?" They ended up saying an area that was about 20 miles away from me. So I'm completely losing my mind at this point because for some reason, I always just imagined that they live somewhere insanely far away, like the Philippines or something. But in reality, we were literally in the same city. What are the odds? When we found out how close we lived to each other, I said, "Dude, we totally have to meet up." Banned from Walmart sounded a little bit sketched out at first, but then they reluctantly agreed. But this is where things get weird because I told him that he could choose where we meet. And you know what he said? He said, "Let's meet at my local cemetery." Now, the reason they told me they wanted to meet at a cemetery was because we met each other playing a horror game, so it just made sense. And guys, please don't get mad at me because I know what everyone's thinking. If someone you've never even seen before wanted to meet at a cemetery for the very first time, you'd have to be stupid.
With Tinker's Mob Editor, when you change the appearance of any particular mob, all mobs in your Minecraft world will assume the look of your modified one. Here it is before, and after.
Stupid to agree to that, right? Right? Well, for some reason, I didn't think that way at the time. My brain immediately started rationalizing this obviously terrible idea. Wait, that actually makes perfect sense. We're both into horror games, so of course we should meet at a spooky place like that. Wow, even when I think about it now, I cannot believe how stupid I was. Actually, yes I can, because you guys say I barely have any brain cells now, so just imagine how many I had back then. Probably like 6 or 7. So I agreed to meet them at the cemetery they mentioned. I knew everything about this person, so I was sure there was nothing to fear. But then they hit me with red flag number 2, because they said, let's meet at like 8 p.m. when it's dark. That way, it'll be more spooky. So just to make sure you guys understand the scenario, we were meeting for the very first time in a cemetery in the dark. I deserve all the comments you guys say about me. Because as they're talking about this, I'm just going, oh yeah, I totally get why they want to meet in a cemetery. This is gonna be awesome. In reality, I had no idea the actual reason they wanted to meet in a cemetery was for a very specific reason. You guys gotta cut me some slack though. This person was basically my best friend, so I would have agreed to meet them anywhere. They could have suggested meeting at Diddy's house, and I still probably would have been like, sounds perfect, I'm in. So it was official. We were gonna meet at a cemetery. Now there was only one problem with all this. Well, actually there was a lot of problems, but only one I was aware of at the time. And the problem was I didn't have a license, and there was no chance my parents would take me to meet up with a random stranger. I couldn't exactly just go up to my parents and say, hey, can you take me across town to meet my internet friend at a cemetery after dark? What? No. Oh, why not? Because what if this person's dangerous? And why do they want to meet you in a cemetery? They're not dangerous. Trust me, we're best friends. Well, what's their real name then? I don't actually know. How old are they? I mean, I could give you a range, but I'm not exactly sure. What do they look like? They look like, actually, I don't know that either. So because getting a ride from my parents to the cemetery that night wasn't an option, I told them that I was going to hang out with one of my friends from school. Mom, I'm going to Cade's house tonight. Oh, that's great. I love Cade. We can drive you over. Oh, no, that's okay. I actually just want to bike there. Since when do you voluntarily choose to exercise? Good. Wasn't an option. I told them that I was going to hang out with one of my friends from school. Mom, I'm going to Cade's house tonight. Oh, that's great. I love Cade. We can drive you over. Oh, no, that's okay. I actually just want to bike there. Since when do you voluntarily choose to exercise? Good point, Mom. The answer is never, but I still said, well, you're the one who said I need to get outside more, so that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Okay. Fair enough. Step 1 was complete. My cover story was working. My parents did seem a little suspicious of what I was saying because 1, I always act super awkward when I'm lying, so they probably could pick that up. And 2, it was really hard for them to believe I would actually want to bike there instead of getting a free ride. But I think my mom was just happy that I was going to go hang out with someone instead of staying inside my room the whole night again. So she didn't care what the details were. I could have told her I was going to twerk all the way to Kate's house, and she still probably would have let me go. So I grabbed my bike from the garage, texted Band from Walmart that I was getting ready to leave, and they told me that they were about to leave too. I should have never left my house that night though, and especially not to meet someone I didn't really know at a cemetery. Quick thing before we go any further, and yes, I did just randomly get a haircut in between clips, but anyways, I've been doing this new side mission lately anytime I'm waiting around in the drive-thru, waiting for a doctor's appointment, or when my friends show up 20 minutes late as usual. It's called Free Cash, today's sponsor, and it basically turns your phone into a reward. Downloaded it in the first place was for the free cash opportunity. After trying it out, here's me cashing out. Chilling at cemeteries alone. I realize my mom is right.
For a chance to win M&S high protein, sweet chili popped red lentil tortillas. On average, what percentage of your diet should come from protein? Is it 17%, 20%, or 25%?
20.
Correct.
They taste so good.
More people are choosing EE Broadband, the UK's fastest growing broadband provider.
Rating on Trustpilot with 250,000 reviews. Now, I'm a huge Monopoly fan, so when I saw that they had an offer on Free Cash to play Monopoly Go, I instantly did it. I was having so much fun that I almost forgot the reason I downloaded it in the first place was for the free cash opportunity. After trying it out, here's me cashing out. Literally just a few taps and then done. If you want to join my side mission, use the link at the top of the description or scan this QR code right here. Now back to the video. So I put the address in my phone and see that this cemetery closes at 7 p.m., meaning we were gonna have to trespass just to even get on the property. There were more and more red flags popping up that I just ignored at the time. As I'm on my way there, I realize my mom is right. I don't ever voluntarily exercise. And there's a reason why. Because apparently, biking 10 miles is a lot more tiring than I thought. And before you say it's not that far, I was on an incline, okay? Was it like a 5-foot incline? Yes, but it's still an incline. As I'm about halfway there, I get a notification from Ben from Walmart saying they just left their house too, and they'll be there in about 5 minutes. I had to respond telling them I would probably arrive in 15 minutes or so because I underestimated how slow I was at riding a bike. They told me no worries because they like just chilling at cemeteries alone. Once again, another red flag. But anyways, that's what they were gonna do until I got there. So I pedal as fast as I can and end up getting to the cemetery around 8:30 p.m., meaning I was half an hour late. I didn't think it would be a big deal at first because they kept texting me that it was fine and that they were just chilling. But me being late would end up being crucial